Why do 90% of fitness business owners, personal trainers fail within the first 2 years of trying to run their own business? You know, the number one reason is because they don't know how to market. Now, there's other reasons as well, but that's the number one. They don't know how to market. They put time and effort and energy and sometimes a lot of money into it. They get burnt and ripped off by a whole bunch of businesses and agencies that don't care about them. And they fail repeatedly to generate enough quality and quantity of leads, which will enable them to consistently earn the money they need. Now, this is a story you've all seen, right? I've seen thousands, probably tens of thousands of brilliant trainers who are now working back in an industry they hated because they didn't understand how to market. And one of the biggest things that I see with marketing, and I'm not talking about Facebook ads and Instagram ads, and you've got to learn Meta and you've got to be up with this, that, and the other. That's maybe a part of it for you, depending on how big a business you want to grow. But the most important thing is, how do you communicate? And most people communicate in a way that makes them the hero. Now, that's a biggest failure you can make. Your potential client isn't interested in you. They're not interested in what you eat. They're not interested in your story. They're not interested in any of that. They're interested in them. They want to know, are you going to help them to solve their problem? They should be the hero of the story. So, what does that mean? Well, it means that you need to use language which is about them. And there's a certain way of doing this. It's like watching a movie, to be honest. And there's a hero, which is your potential client. They have a problem, which they need to lose weight, or they've got to get stronger, or they want to get fitter, or all of the above. And then they meet a guide. Who's that? That's you. You're the guide. You're not the hero. Okay. You are the guide here. You're the, you know, depending on who it is that you're watching these days. But you're not the hero in the story, okay? And that's really important. And you're going to give them a plan, and they take action with that plan, and then you can support them through the challenges that going through that plan takes. Sometimes they're going to feel flat. Sometimes they're going to go off the wagon, and then they're going to help them get them back on, and then eventually it's going to lead to success. So when you're creating emails, when you're creating text messages, when you're creating social media content, when you're creating newsletters, when you're creating any type of digital product, make sure that it's not about you. Okay. You want to create curiosity. You want to create imagination. You want to capture people's imagination so they then want to learn more. But wait until you're way down the track before you speak about yourself. It's only usually once they've actually invested with you that they care about that, because they don't care before then. They want to know that you care. Okay. So, number one tip for getting better at your marketing: don't make yourself the hero. You are the guide. The heroes are weak. You don't want to be the hero, okay? You want to be the guide. The guides are the strong ones in the story. The guides are the ones who help the hero to go from problem, pain, suffering to ultimate joy and happy ever after at the end of the ride. So, such a critical factor. Look, there's so many other things that you can do as part of your marketing as well. But if you don't use this type of language with all these other things, it's going to fail. So click on the link below if you want to get my checklist of what you could and should be doing to grow your fitness business. And again, you don't need to spend money on ads if you don't want to grow that big. There's lots of the ways of doing it, but make sure, don't make yourself the hero. Okay, you're the guide. You're the Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're the Yoda. You're the person guiding the Dumbledore. You know that's the person you are. Let them be the hero and create the story about them. Tell stories about them. That's what's powerful. So click on that link below to see what else you can do for your marketing. If you need any help to grow your fitness business, you know where I am. Speak to you soon.